on my shirt just saying sex. This is an Edge shirt. It's an old one. It's gross. Anyway. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Dr. Nick. See, I gotta get on the Twitters.
Oh, yeah. You got
Shadow Vein Cast. If you're not there yet, you need to add that because we're working. But I'm gonna pass along that we're broadcasting. I'm gonna retweet it. I'm gonna retweet that
from
shit.
yourself, or are you gonna retweet it from Shadow Vein?
I'm gonna retweet it for myself, I think.
Yarp.
Where? There it is. Retweet that motherfucker.
It's me and the second doctor. I'm just gonna watch you do that.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, that's the notifications. You telling me to shut up. Okay. Hooah! I'm ready.
I told you to shut up? Oh, I did tell you to shut up.
I told you to shut up. You said you shut up.
You shut up.
You shut up.
Sheep mask. How are my levels? Am I hot? Am I too hot? Is it hot?
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know. It's fine. You're always louder than me anyway, and I don't know why.
It's true because I have I don't know, my mic levels are different. I don't know. I try to set it lower, and Audacity sometimes creeps it back up for some reason.
There's also sometimes an echo, but.
Well, as bad as it could be. I like that first podcast. It was really awful that I was on, where you were echoing the entire time.
Does yours say Bills, Bills, Bills? Because mine says bitch, bitch, bitch.
Yeah, I was thinking Destiny's Child or something.
Jonathan Colton has a good cover of that song. Anyway, Glee did a cover of it too, but that's another story for another time.
Code Monkey.
Exactly.
Oh! It's putting the condom on.
Is that all right? I don't want to breathe.
Always practice safe podcasting.
I don't want to breathe into the microphone. Is the problem? This is going to stop my peas from popping, and we're going to be good to go. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I love it when my pee pops. So we get started.
On that note, episode 162.
Hell yeah!
In 3, 2, 1, record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by Daniel Bryan's Neighborhood Watch. I don't have a joke for this. I just think it's hysterical that he took down a goddamn burglar. Daniel Bryan's Neighborhood Watch. We'll talk about that later. It's rumored that Cesaro was asked to stop using the giant swing because of how well it got over with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, or is that not, the dumbest thing you've ever heard?
No, I actually agree with it. I'm going to agree that if he's going to be a heel, he should stop doing face moves. That's just me. Plus, I think they should stop the big swing just for the fact that the WWE Universe can't count.
That's true. This thing is covered in hair because I have it.
If you're going to put a condom on, folks, make sure it's not being stored with the cat toys.
Let's get to the rundown.
Yeah, let's do it.
Took it off 2 weeks ago. I'm just petting it. And now you're dying again.
It's the chemicals, I'm sorry.
Cut this out from underneath.
Oh, sorry.
More surprising than Sting at Comic-Con. It's episode 162 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Tuesday, July 29th, 2014. Joining me this week, currently dying because of spicy food or something, Andrew is here.
I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. If I die during the show, just keep going for the fans.
Is your shirt a shopping cart full of Mario Kart items?
Yes, it's Mario Kart. Is she shopping? Get it? Ha! Visual jokes on the podcast.
On Facebook this week.
Tell me more.
We gained a like. We're up to 431.
Wow. Heading toward that 500.
On Twitter this week,
Ooh, Twitter.
we gained 2 followers.
Yeah, baby.
We're up to 106.
Oh man, I'm getting a little intimidated by that Twitter penis. It looks like it might hurt a bit.
I think Tony the Keg has unfollowed us, but that's a different story.
Aww.
And there is
Poor
no
Tony the
update.
Keg.
There is no update to the official listener. It is the same as last week. Troy Boson is still our official listener with $15 donated and a purchase of the book. If you want to become our official
book?
If you want to become our official listener, go to rundown.podomatic.com, click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the page. Donate at least $16, and then go to tinyurl.com/distant horizons. Buy yourself a copy of this here chap book.
And if you are currently living in a trailer park or Texas and you have no money, you can just leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Go to the old iTunes, your little podcast feed, and open it up in the old iTunes and leave us a nice little 5-star review. And if you write a written review, we will read it on the show.
Yes, but that will not help you become official listener.
No, but if you're poor and you want to help us out, reach more of the masses, and hopefully influence more wrestling, by all means, please.
Andrew.
Yes?
What happened on NXT?
Oh, we're rewinding. Wow. Let's see what those stars of tomorrow are doing, down in America's Wang, shall we?
The roar of the crowd, it's so loud, but it all terminates.
Wang. We start with a recap of Charlotte's reign as women's champion tonight. It seems she finally defends said title against Summer Rae.
Yay.
Speaking of champions, we start the night with the tag team champions, The Ascension. 295 days as champions, to be more specific. Tonight it's Vandal, and I'm going to call the other guy Blue Trunks because literally they don't give us the names this time.
It's Corbin and Corbin.
Apparently. Want to guess, Adam, who won?
I'm going to say Corbin and Corbin.
Incorrect. Fall of Man on Blue Trunks picks up the victory for the Ascension. Later on, Tyler Breeze and Adrian Neville both will be in action tonight. Not against each other, just both in action. And our main event, the women's title match. Tyler Breeze, despite his hand modeling injury, as reported a couple weeks ago, is headed into the ring for action. You ready to stay hyped, Adam?
Ugh.
It's Mojo time! However, he doesn't really stay hyped for all that long as Breeze suckers him into a beauty shot within the first minute of the match and picks up the victory.
Thank God.
I like Mojo.
Meh.
My previous statement about the women's title being the main event, not true, by the way. Apparently that's next, even though they were hyping only that match tonight. It is up next. You'd figure that they would, try to maybe give it the main event slot, but anyway. It is a Divas match anyway, so.
Exactly.
We get an interesting line from Renee before the start of the match. At one point, I can't remember what it's in reference to. She says, "It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Summer Rae is wearing bacon pants." Okay. The match itself is...
bacon pants.
Hashtag bacon pants. The match itself is pretty aggressive in its style. However, it also is rather slow. And usually I like the sort of slow, technical kind of match, but for some reason, these two just do not mesh well. Charlotte finally wins with a bow down to the Queen, but not a great match, in my opinion, personally.
Say it right.
Bow down to the Queen!
Thank you.
You're welcome. We get an Alexa Bliss promo, followed by the introduction of the Vaudevillains, my favorite tag team, I think, or one of. Tonight they take on Sin Cara and Kalisto because, they both wear masks. Sin Cara seems a bit taller than I remember him debuting. I'm just starting to notice some things that are different. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, the Luchadors surprisingly pick up the win after a pretty exciting match. On to our main event. The champ Adrian Neville is ready for action, and he takes on Rusev. Lana talks about American stars who always fade. In Russia, They have heroes like Vladimir Putin.
In Soviet Russia, stars fade you.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Neville is just a star, and like those before him,
He's not even American.
I know. I love it.
Ugh.
We get speed versus strength here in this match, and strength prevails early on. Neville comes back by working on the legs and then hits a big missile dropkick from the top. Lana distracts the official, and then Breeze comes out of nowhere to hit a cheap shot. Neville eventually fights back, though, and goes for the red arrow, but Breeze gets involved again by yanking him off the top ropes. Rusev then crashes at Lana's command. Neville wins by DQ, but he looks like anything but a winner tonight. And that's NXT.
I don't like Rusev being back on NXT with this unbeatable gimmick.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty lackluster NXT overall, which is kind of sad.
Speaking of lackluster, we open SmackDown with the edited recap of Hunter announcing Lesnar as the opponent at SummerSlam. Opening video, and Cole welcomes us to SmackDown live to tape from Orlando, Florida. Right next door.
Hey!
Enter the Usos, their opponents tonight. Our ripe asshole.
Ooh.
Jimmy rolls up Curtis after some twin magic and pins him for 3. And yet no one complains about that. Funny, when I seem to remember when the Bellas used to do that, the announcers would be up in fucking arms. Anyway, tonight, a recap of bullshit from Raw, plus Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio. Backstage, The Miz is walking. He signs an autograph for a kid. Miz TV is after the break.
Nice.
Enter Miz when we return. The lady still asks for quiet on the set, but she doesn't tell us that he's here. Miz gives us his acceptance speech for winning the Intercontinental title. He thanks his parents, and my God, mark it on the calendar. Call the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Miz's dad actually emotes.
What?
Miz asks his mom a couple questions. She ends up saying Roman Reigns is her favorite wrestler. It's hilarious and not scripted at all. He is finally and mercifully interrupted by Bo Dallas. They agree to lunch, and Dolph Ziggler appears. Maybe he wants lunch too. Maybe
Maybe he's hungry. They did cut back on the craft foods, right? You know
Yeah. Dolph wants to call Miz out on his bullshit victory at the pay-per-view. Bo cheap shots Dolph and knocks him outside. That is the sudden end to that segment. Tonight, Ambrose versus Cesaro 2. No disqualification.
Nice.
We come back for the bell for Bo versus Dolph. Miz causes a distraction that allows Bo to roll Dolph up and go 17 and Bo.
More on that later.
Dolph KOs Bo after the match, then Miz shoves him into the ring post. Backstage, Renee is with Roman. Roman's going to beat up Alberto. Next.
Does he give her the sexy eyes again?
Cesaro versus Ambrose. Enter Ambrose when we return. Dean loads the ring with chairs, then gets attacked by Seth. He dumps Seth over the barricade, then gets super duper plexed from the apron into the ring, onto the chairs, but manages to kick out.
Why did I think you were going to say he loaded the ring with dynamite? Like, I don't know why I thought you were going to go. I don't, anyway.
He's not that crazy.
Okay.
He then small packages Cesaro for 3. After the match, he gets the shit kicked out of him, eventually getting Seth penalized. Cole then awkwardly segues to the Paige drama. Paige is next.
Nice.
Dancing checkered flag Naomi is in the ring when we come back. We get a replay of the Dunkefactals breaking up. Paige says she and AJ are still friends. She likes AJ, and she likes Naomi too. Paige extends a hand, and Cameron's music starts. Naomi turns, gets attacked, lift DDT'd, and PTO'd for the victory.
Wow,
Paige
that was quick.
sticks around the ring. Cameron then beats up Naomi, but nobody cares. Backstage, Goldust has one of those plasma balls you can buy at Spencer's. You know them things?
No, like the weird, like that you put your hand on the glass
Yes,
and it like
the electricity ball.
Yes,
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 exactly.
yes.
He's also wearing one of those stuffed wizard hats you get at the toy store. Something Cosmic Key. Stardust was actually part of the table. They're weird. It's great. Up next, Bray Wyatt. We come back for R-Truth. He gets his ass beat, as should always be the way. More on that later. Bray says R-Truth was there for Jericho when Jericho needed him, but Jericho isn't there for R-Truth. Bray Wyatt is always there.
That's creepy.
At 9:30, instead of having, I don't know, wrestling in the last half hour of the show, we
More
go
than
back
that
to
one.
Raw for Steph getting arrested. We then go to break. Jesus Christ. We come back at 9:41, and instead of having, I don't know, wrestling in the last 20 minutes of the show, we get a recap of Lesnar being named the #1 contender.
Jesus
Enter Roman
Christ.
Reigns when we come back to the arena. At one point during the match, JBL calls out, "You can't coach strength, Michael." I think all the people in the U.S. whose job title is strength coach might disagree with you. Decent match, Superman punch and spear finish off Alberto, and that is your SmackDown.
And more of that non-wrestling main event-ish stuff coming up on Raw.
We open Raw with a recap of Battery. In the arena, Cole welcomes us to Raw live from Houston, Texas. John Cena enters, still wearing the titles like a fucktard.
So Metallica was there to open the show? Gotta have the bathtub, Ray. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
John pretends to be concerned for his safety at SummerSlam until Paul Heyman appears. John then gets real, and we know this because he gets all throaty and yelly and says friggin' and calls the title a son of a bitch. Entered Cesaro. Cesaro takes personal offense to Cena insulting Heyman because
Yeah, that was
they may
stupid.
not be together now, but they're still friends, you see.
No, that's stupid. That was dumb. That was really dumb.
He makes fun of Cena's wrestling ability. He wants a match with Cena right fuck now. Cena accepts. Cesaro loses after the break. We come back for the bell for that match. Apron superplex, Cesaro swing, submission I've never seen before. Interesting combination.
That was a really cool submission.
Top rope
that was
AA
awesome.
countered into a crossbody, countered into an AA, countered into a flapjack European uppercut. Another hell of a thing that happened. Series of big boots, super AA, Cena pins Cesaro, of course.
Very good match, though. That's all that matters. It was a good
Leave it
match.
to Cesaro to pull a watchable and entertaining match out of John Cena.
Or you're just a douchebag and can't admit the fact that he can actually wrestle. But anyway, moving on.
Backstage, Steph is doubting something. Apparently, Florida jails are fucking awful. Meanwhile, Hunter is upset about not getting Cena at Randy is upset about not getting Cena at SummerSlam. Hunter tells him to go fuck himself and take care of Roman. Randy promises to take out Roman tonight. Hunter says Roman's facing Kane tonight. Randy just doesn't like anybody now, but that's okay because we don't like him either.
You know, on the note of Florida prisons, have you ever been to Florida? Because it makes perfect sense if you've been to Florida.
I've been to Florida when I was like 8.
Just look at the people. So
Enter Paige when we come back. She and AJ are best friends. Enter
Okay.
AJ. AJ says she talks her shit face to face like a real woman. Then Paige calls her crazy and AJ gets mad and then attacks her. Paige doesn't understand. They're supposed to be friends. Tonight, Reigns versus Canes. Enter the Authority. When we return, we get yet another replay of Brie calling Steph a bitch last week and Steph getting arrested. The crowd chants something at Steph. I couldn't make it out. Hunter is disappointed in all of us, disgusted even. According to Twitter, they were chanting jailbird.
You would think that given the fact that it's a PG show, they wouldn't replay the word bitch over and over and over again. I'm just saying.
They seem to selectively choose when they want to bleep it and when they want to emphasize
it makes no sense, but there you go.
Yeah. He will never forgive us for cheering his wife being arrested and loaded into a cruiser like a common criminal. It's all just a simple misunderstanding. Every charge has been dropped except for that pesky assault and battery charge because Brie Bella refuses to let things go, all right?
What a bitch.
She has invited Brie here tonight so they can put this whole thing behind them. Steph asks Brie to come to the ring. Enter Chris Jericho? The fuck? Jericho sings the Cops theme to them. Jericho says this is the reason the WWE Network was created, so we can watch Steph get arrested, carted off in handcuffs over and over and over again, except for that pesky little fact that the new episodes of Raw don't show up on the network for like a month.
Well, you could watch the This Week on WWE. I'm sure it's over there.
Jericho then gives Hunter shit for waiting so long to go get her. He then whips out the trash bag hoe line, and my night is made.
I was waiting for that the entire time.
Exactly. I posted it on Twitter. Jericho wants a match against Wyatt tonight. Hunter says he's going to have to wait until SummerSlam for that. But tonight, he'll get attacked from behind by Seth Rollins. And also, they'll have a match later. We then go back to the top of the show for John Cena being all serious-like. Enter The Miz. When we come back, he's taking on Ziggler once again, except now it's a 6-man tag team match. Miz and Rybasshole versus Ziggler and the Usos.
Missed that.
After the break, NOD 2014 are at ringside observing. Chaos ends with a zigzag on Ryback for 3. We come back for R-Truth. They're being nice and not showing us his entire entrance anymore. His opponent, the inspirational Bo Dallas. Bo taunts Truth about losing so much and then gets pinned in a matter of moments. Fuck the fucking fuck is the fucking fuck of that fuck.
I don't know. Maybe they're gonna. I'm okay with him not keeping an undefeated streak. He's not that kind of person to necessarily need an undefeated streak to make him put him over. But if anything, maybe this will be a way to help put over, someone else that they've just been ignoring.
Bo says he can't believe that Truth was the first to beat him. Welcome to the crowd. And then he beats the hell out of him.
Nice.
Bo takes his victory lap. Someone has a sign that says, "Why are you so wet?" And that's awesome. We then get a replay of Jericho getting beaten from behind by Rollins. My friend Jake on Facebook made the point that perhaps this is because after the match, he shook his hand and then he beat the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is a way of we're getting a darker side of Bo Dallas.
Or just another way to show him just his heel side. He's getting too over, man. You got to have him beat up people.
That was the other thing. If I feel like if this was going to happen, it needed to be against a stronger face than fucking R-Truth, who got the shit kicked out of him on SmackDown.
But it makes it also
Wyatt.
seem more realistic that anyone can win on any given day. I don't know.
On the side, Troy says first abeyance, then it should be détente, not entente. Now frenemy. What wacky word will WWE shove down our throats next?
Good question. No, that's a very good question.
Enter Rusev when we return. Something something Putin cheap heat. Enter Swagger and Coulter. Something something cheap pop. America, we the people. They fight. I'm bored. Let's go to commercial. Enter Damian Sandow dressed as an astronaut when we return.
Okay, they cut that out of Hulu too.
He disses the Rosebuds, so he's facing Adam Rose. Party foul finishes off Damian's night in about 45 seconds.
Maybe it'll be libation. That'll be the new word.
Yeah. Tomorrow night on Main Event, it's Ambrose versus Del Rio. Well, tonight on Main Event. Actually, probably right now on Main Event. But
we'll live broadcast and get kicked off of Google+.
Yeah. Enter Kane. Orton attacks Ambrose before he can get to the ring. Should say Reigns. I type these up very quickly. Orton attacks Reigns before he can get to the ring. Kane chokeslams Reigns and leaves. Orton continues to beat on Roman. Hangman DDT off the barricade. Randy destroys Roman all around the ringside area. RKO on the announce table, followed by a second RKO on the announce table, which actually breaks the announce table. And goddamn, Roman Reigns just got fucking wrecked.
If you did not watch Raw and you want to watch any segment, in my opinion, that was the only segment of Raw worth watching, was the beatdown, because that was fucking vicious. And made Randy Orton actually look good again.
And then he posted on Twitter, "The Viper is back."
That was awesome.
So are we back to explosive IE? Are we back to IED Randy Orton?
Maybe.
Wondered.
Better than. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
We come back from break for a replay of what happened before break, Goldfish. Fandango's been in the ring this whole time, apparently. His opponent is Diego, accompanied by Summer Lay. Diego wins. I didn't see how. I was too busy not caring. Backstage, Steph talks to Nikki. Nikki tells Steph to eat shit in much more awkward terms. We come back to the Dustbusters being weird. In the ring, Divas. They've all already entered because, as we know, in Divas matches, nobody wins.
Oh.
Naomi makes Cameron tap out to some weird submission. Enter Jericho. His match with Rollins is next. Enter Rollins. When we return, they get about 15 minutes until Jericho counters a springboard into a code breaker. Then the Wyatts sheep cut into the ring to beat the crap out of him. Sister Abigail, follow the buzzards, sheep cut. Backstage, the Authority are walking. Your main event chat segment is next.
That pissed me off.
On SmackDown, Jericho versus Rowan. Enter Steph. One more replay of Brie quitting at Payback. Then one more replay of Brie cursing at Steph last week. Steph rambles about being a criminal until Brie comes in through the crowd to call her a bitch again. Steph offers Nikki a pay raise. Brie says sure, but she also gets her job back. They agree to terms. Then Brie has one more demand. A match.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, just quick question. The fact that, one, she's not employed, and two, she was walking in through the crowd, why did they just suddenly play her music? Like when she was like right there at ringside? That made no sense. Yeah, sorry, you may continue with the stupid main event.
A match at SummerSlam against Steph. Brie's line delivery is stiffer than Edge during a live sex celebration. Steph starts to cry, then accepts the match, then slaps Brie off the apron and says, bitch, one more time. That's like 4 or 5 bitches.
There's a lot of bitches. I mean...
They then brawl. Jamie Noble holds Brie back while Mercury, Finley, and Hunters take Steph to the back. There's another bitch as we go off the air.
No, well, you missed part of that. They go off the air to a Jamie Noble chant. At first, I thought was this is awful, and then I realized right at the end that they actually were chanting Jamie Noble. Nice. So, dear WWE, please don't bring out stars that work for your company in a different capacity to break up wrestlers if they are bigger than the wrestlers in your main event. Just saying. You probably will never be on TV ever again after that.
All right. So
that's Raw.
That was Raw.
Those are the shows this week. We are done rewinding.
4 minutes.
Wow.
All right. So
it's going to be a record show.
Well, it's because we also don't have to cover main event.
That's true.
Which brings us to...
this listener mail?
Yes!
Yeah, I'm getting it down. It's like I've been on this show maybe like 30 times.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Oh, is it a voicemail?
Yeah. Hey, Adam. Hey, Andy. It's Chris from Dashboard again. With the recent signings of Kevin Steen and Prince Devitt, which matchups are you guys most looking forward to in NXT and on the main roster? Also, with the, I guess, quote-unquote signing of Sting, we don't know if he's really officially signed with a contract. We know he's in the video game, but with him being signed, if he becomes an active wrestler on the roster, who would you guys like to see him work, I guess, per se, on the main roster? Because I don't foresee him going to NXT. Love the show. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good questions. I personally want to see Devitt versus Neville. I want to see that match.
Sure, definitely. Will they acknowledge the history between Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure if they'll go that route or not. It'd be kind of cool if they did, actually.
It would be interesting. I mean, they would have to admit that Zayn was El Generico in a past life, but
right. But yeah, I think it could be interesting, even if they don't go really in depth, about it. Like, at least acknowledge it in some manner. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know, any dream matches with either of those two on NXT?
I definitely agree with Devitt and Neville. That'd be.
I think that'd be awesome.
Kevin Steen beat the shit out of anybody. So.
Are they going to change the names of either of them? Do you think?
Oh, yeah,
be
definitely.
Repackaged.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And what about Sting?
Sting. I'm having pain. Okay. Sting versus.
I say Sting versus Trips, personally. I think that'd be awesome.
That would be intriguing, to be sure.
That's my dream match with Sting, because Undertaker's not going to happen. So
no, probably not. Sting versus Jericho would be really good.
That would be interesting. Have they fought? I'm assuming they had to have crossed paths somewhere along the
I
lines.
don't know.
Right?
I don't know if they crossed paths in WCW or not.
Fans, let us know. Well, I guess Google could tell us that too, but
Yeah, but yeah, you know.
I'm lazy.
Troy says, well, I was sitting on my toilet reading this awesome book called Chasing Distant Horizons, available at tinyurl.com/Distant Horizons. I thought about how WWE could really use a new main event feud. I hear Bill Goldberg's available.
He's busy with his podcast, making all kinds of great podcast money.
Yeah. There's one thing we know about, it's podcast money.
Hey, I bet he does make some money off of it. So, you ever listen to any of those podcasts? One podcast, they fill up with so much freaking advertising that you have to literally skip past like 5 minutes chunks at a time.
I haven't gotten to any of them yet. No, I'm still.
Shame on you.
I'm still in 2009. Anyway,
the Kurt Angle interview is really interesting. But anyway,
we'll get to it eventually. It might be 3 years from now, but I'll get to it.
Kurt Angle might be dead by then.
It's true. Anyway, shall we
My
move on?
apologies to Kurt Angle and his family. Yeah, if you don't have any other dream matches, I am excited to see what NXT does with those two gentlemen, though. I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm.
It should be interesting.
Up next.
The Rundown Showdown?
That's correct.
Yeah!
Oh, hell, let's do that thing where I talk.
That's our Rundown Showdown theme song. Troy says, I can't wait for the fatal four-way match between Sami Zayn, Frankie Devitt, Kyle Stein, and Kentai. It kind of sounds like big guy. Just saying.
He's doing that awesome thing where I talk, and then half a second later I hear myself.
Yeah.
So last week on the Showdown, Diesel versus Psycho Sid.
Ooh. Quite the matchup.
To the comments, hard to pick between a collapsible leg, or a torn hamstring, but the edge goes to Sid for giving people nightmares.
Fair enough.
He's twice the man and half the brains of this podcast.
Ha!
The master and pooper of the world.
I had a feeling his pooping was going to be a big factor here.
Wait for it. The next one just says, for life.
Ha!
This one says, and it's in all caps, so I apologize in advance. He shit his pants in the Undertaker's face. He shit his pants.
X-Pac.
Again, he shit his pants. I voted for Sid if you didn't figure it out. Big D never took a big shit on the grand stage. I don't know, I just like Sid more than Diesel. This was tough. It came down to who I hated less, broken leg or torn quads. Either way, this was a toss-up. He was the better bodyguard to the winner of the Rundown Showdown. This was tough, but NWO wins. Of course, this one just keeps showing up. He has the ability to get things done. I don't know what that means.
It's elusive. I don't know.
By a margin.
God damn it, I hate you.
By a margin of one vote.
One
vote.
One vote is going to be Sid, isn't it?
55 to 45.
Wow.
Psycho Sid.
Nice. I voted for Diesel. And usually whoever I vote for loses, so I'm used to this.
Which brings us to our first semi-final match.
Ooh. Who is it? Who is it? I gotta know. Tell me! The suspense is killing me!
Shawn Michaels versus Edge.
Ah! The winner of the Rundown Showdown versus the Rated R Superstar. It'll be an interesting battle.
You're such a jerk.
You love it.
So.
Any Dear WWEs this week?
Yes.
Indeed.
My dad just offered me pizza via text message.
Nice. Text message pizza is like the best pizza ever.
Mike Deal, ooh, that's a new commenter. Says, for once my vote actually meant something in the world.
I remember. I think Mike was on the old Facebook a couple times.
That's what we're here for. That's true. He said he was going to set his alarm tonight. So welcome aboard, Mike. We're glad to have you.
Wherever you're from, Mike, glad to have you.
All right. So on to Dear WWE. As I take that question.
Is it a letter form or a voicemail form?
It is a letter.
Okay.
Greetings, Rundown hosts. My cousin said he'll check in next week. He's very distraught. He lost his hair gel in the tornado and is just... Poor guy. Anyways, there was a tornado in Revere yesterday. Dear WWE, how in the living fuck can you have Bo Dallas's undefeated streak end to our fucking truth? Really? In the immortal words of Cartman, screw you guys, I'm going home. Sincerely, Sal.
Well, to be fair, him losing to R-Truth has definitely gotten a lot of people talking. So, if WWE wanted a little bit of buzz, they got a little bit of buzz.
Right.
I'm okay as long as he doesn't just disappear back to NXT. So
that's true. Send your Dear WWE letter to rundownwrestling@gmail.com.
Do it. And leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
This might be the shortest episode we've ever had.
This will be amazing. This is
As
crazy.
we move on to the news this week.
Oh, yeah.
As I mentioned at the very, very, very beginning of the show,
I don't remember.
Daniel Bryan has added Crime Fighter to his resume after returning home from his appearance at Comic-Con last week. TMZ reports that Bryan subdued a burglar who had broken into his and Brie Bella's home after arriving on Thursday night to his Phoenix, Arizona home.
That's awesome.
The site says that Bryan and Brie arrived home when they saw two men on the way out of the house. The burglars dropped their stolen goods and ran off, with Bryan giving chase. He caught up with one of them and locked in a rear naked choke for 5 minutes until the police arrived.
That is amazing.
Bryan said in a press conference that the chase went on for 400 meters and that he didn't get a good look at the second guy, but that a neighbor did. He added that he didn't think they were specifically targeted due to his being a celebrity, but rather because they are new to the neighborhood.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, whether they knew it was Daniel Bryan's house or not.
The site notes that the man who was caught is facing kidnapping charges in another case. Bree retrieved the nearly stolen items, which included a bracelet that belonged to Bryan's late father. The second criminal is still on the loose.
If you have information, call 1-888. Something funny. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything to finish that. Goatface. 1-888 Goatface.
Call 206-20-ANGST.
Yes, do that.
Bryan also mentioned during the press conference that he heard from the WWE doctor on Thursday after having surgery to fix the compression of his ulnar nerve in 2 spots in his back. He said that the ulnar nerve in his right elbow is also compressed and he needs surgery to fix it. He will be out of action longer as it's not a quick fix. He said he has half the strength in his right arm as he does in his left.
He also said, I also don't know what an ulnar nerve is. Apparently it's somewhere on my body.
You're such a jerk. Daniel Bryan, Crime Fighter.
Yeah, he's got to do something cool. So that he should take that up as his profession. I think I'd be okay with that. It's not like he can wrestle anytime soon. So
chasing down perps and locking them in chokeholds.
You should really submit that for his theme song for his new television show.
Next. WWE Network employees are said to be very nervous and are walking on eggshells because of the lack of strategy or direction for the service. One example was the Cougar Countdown special for Vicky Guerrero, which WWE told them to produce when Vicky left in June. They weren't given any details on when the special would air, and everything was very last minute.
Oh, jeez.
WWE will make a network subscriber announcement on Thursday. There is concern that there will be a network employee cuts after the announcement. Like I said, it's doing that thing where I talk and then I hear myself half a second later. It screws me up. The reports suggested that unless there is a live event, pay-per-view, main event, NXT, the viewing numbers for the rest of the network's programming are not a very large amount.
Oh, really? I think I turn on the network at least like 3 or 4 times a week to watch
Yeah, but
stuff.
you don't have cable.
That's true. I don't. That's very, very true. What WWE Network needs to do is they need to, and I know that's hard to do when they don't have the money for it, it seems right now, but they need to really work on putting extra programming on there, and not just old stuff. Like you watch it right now, and sometimes you'll see a commercial like on NXT. They're like, well, new to the network, the '80s episodes of Saturday Night's Main Event. That's cool. I'll go and I will watch that. However, I want new content now of like
Right.
the stuff's going on now, and give a chance for some of those wrestlers who you're not giving TV time or trying to push. Give them something else to do to put them over. You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense to have that level of a service but not utilize it to do programming, whether it's interviews, whether it's, I don't know, just they need something.
It sounds like I remember they had all these ideas for the show. They were going to do like a Sports Center type show.
Yeah.
They
can't be that expensive to do.
thing, but they haven't really seemed to jump on any of that yet.
Right, and I don't think like a Sports Center, whether serious or not serious type show, an hour a week or something, would be that expensive to do.
Bring back Tuesday Night Titans.
There you go. There you go. Something, right? I mean, they need to jump on the stars that they have, give them some sort of show. I don't know. I just do something with the network, for Christ's sakes.
I mean, because, yeah, all I use it for is NXT main event and pay-per-views. That's all I watch.
I currently am going back through all of the SummerSlams, and I'm putting together an article for the blog whenever I get it done of the top 10 SummerSlam matches of all time. So, like, I do stuff like that, but aside from that, I mean, I personally use it, but like you said, I don't have cable, so I'm either on that.
I just don't
Netflix
have
or Hulu.
time. I just don't have time to dig into anything like that, because I know that if I go back and start watching WCW or ECW pay-per-views or Saturday Night's Main Event or whatever, that I'm going to lose about 12 hours of my day.
And you already watched like 1 million hours of wrestling a week, so yeah, no, I understand. I
Such a
understand.
good idea.
I mean, I totally get it, but at the same time, if they want the network to succeed, they've got to put new programming on, not just episodes of Total Divas that have already been produced. You know, like that's not going to draw most people because, like you said, most people have cable.
Right.
If they want to watch it, they would have watched it on E or DVR'd it or whatever.
Why would you want to watch it?
I am going to eventually. I'm still going to. I haven't yet, but one day.
So, yeah.
There's that. Michael Cole, whoever's listening, tell them they need to do some more stuff with the network.
Triple H. I know
Triple
Triple
H.
H listens.
John Cena, Santino.
Next.
Washa.
On a similar vein, according to WrestleZone, it is rumored that up to as many as 30 WWE office employees could be released by the end of the week.
Ew.
This would be done as the next wave of budget cuts for the company. The report
Yikes.
notes that the executive wing is expected to be the focus of these employee cuts. The company has previously released several talents, also made cuts to air and ground travel, cut things like the Raw post-game show. One source says that the company has needed to trim the fat for a while now and that this will be less painful to upper management than it may seem. Again, at this time, take this report as a rumor, but it does fall in line with the earlier reports that the WWE has to cut $20 million from the budget.
If you have a way that WWE can trim the budget, give us an email at rundownwrestling@gmail.com or call our line, which I cannot remember, so you can tell them, Adam.
206.
202.
202.
20 angst. No, that's wrong.
Hang on. 6487. 202 20 angst.
There you go.
I think it's 6487. Anyway. Next.
Wah. Sha, 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 wah. Sha, sha, sha.
And finally this week.
Holy fuck! This is going to be like a 40-minute podcast. Our closing part's going to be longer than the news segment.
There was not a lot of news this week, but this is a big story, of course.
All right. Oh, yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. Because it's the only big story we haven't talked about yet. According to TMZ, Spike TV quietly informed TNA that they would not be renewing their TV contract.
Oh, no.
Sources close to the situation state that Spike TV executives contacted TNA president Dixie Carter. Dixie, don't know why I said it like that, but it did. What the fuck,
she's in heat, baby!
This week to break the news, with Carter breaking the news to members of her inner circle the next day. TNA's contract reportedly runs through October, but at this time it is not clear if they will run episodes through then or not. Spike TV reportedly told TNA of the news now to allow them to shop for a new TV deal. TNA Impact debuted on Spike TV back in October of 2005.
Do you think Spike got a better offer from, like, let's say Jericho's, or not Jericho, wrong person. What's his name? Jarrett's promotion.
No, I think there was wording in his contract saying he wasn't allowed to talk to Spike.
Ah, okay, gotcha. I just wasn't sure. Like, it sounds kind of odd. I mean, I understand that the whole thing does seem a little bit weird to me. Like, I know that TNA, like, we're not talking about it most weeks. Most people aren't talking about it. A lot of people aren't watching it. But at the same time, it still draws from what I've heard and read, around 1 million viewers every week. So, I mean, that's a lot of people still. I mean, right. Compare that to some of the other stuff that's on Spike, with the exception of maybe some of like the Ultimate Fighting stuff. It's got to be one of their biggest rating draws. So I'm not sure what the miscommunication is that kind of led to this.
Yeah. F4WOnline.com reports that Dixie Carter told her staff last week that TNA made the decision to leave Spike TV.
Really?
Other sources, including TMZ, who broke the story, are reporting that Spike TV informed her that they would not be renewing Impact. The decision
he didn't break up with me. I broke up with him.
The decision from Spike TV came days after Spike found out that Vince Russo was still working for TNA. While there had been many rumors about the situation, many within TNA, including the wrestlers, found out about the news tonight when TMZ report came out. But that was not a word. This is fucking me up. When the TMZ report came out, the official word from TNA right now is, we have not signed an extension and are still in negotiations.
Crazy.
Following the news that Spike TV is not renewing the TV deal, Dixie and Bob Ryder posted the following to Twitter. Dixie saying, negotiations with Spike TV are ongoing. Stay tuned and be sure to tune in this Thursday night for Ultimate X on Impact on Spike. And Bob Ryder saying, reports are not true. Negotiations with Spike TV are ongoing. According
Meaning
to
Dixie Carter is like parked outside of Spike's like office, like pawing at the door.
According to PW Torch, Spike TV informed the site that there are ongoing negotiations in regards to TNA Impact. TNA officials have reportedly told the talent that the rumors that Spike TV canceled Impact are not true. TNA is acting the same now as when the sale rumors began last year. They emailed the wrestlers to tell them not to worry about the rumors. They are expecting good news and will update the roster when they know more. Meanwhile, it was previously reported that TNA was losing around $45 million 3 years ago. Well, that number is lower now, and the loss has slowed down. They are still losing money.
Wow, shocker! I'm really shocked.
So the consensus among the internet is that either this is horrible news, but it's not the end of TNA.
Right.
They might still be able to find something else, or this is total horseshit, or that this was absolutely the right thing for Spike to do because they've invested so much money in the company at this point, and the company has provided them with no returns.
I don't know if I'd agree that it's provided them with no returns. Like I said, it was probably, and I don't know the exact numbers, but from some things I have read, it is one of their best shows with regards to ratings. So I think that, honestly, by the end of the day, I have a feeling that they will strike a deal. It might cost Dixie a little bit more, and they may come out on the short end of the stick with regards to the deal. But I think that something will come up, and they will come to a consensus, and I believe that TNA will continue.
That was the big argument. Was the statement was just Spike TV has not renewed the contract.
Right.
It's not Spike TV is not trying to renegotiate
Right.
A new contract.
Right, absolutely. They may have to start something new, a little bit cheaper.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, Dixie's going to have to be talking to mommy and getting more checks cashed soon. But aside from that, they'll come up with something. And I agree. As much as I don't really care because I don't have cable, so I don't even have a chance to watch TNA. I think it still needs to exist. It needs to be out there. So the more wrestling, the better for the people who are involved in the wrestling business.
So until more solid information comes out, I'm kind of leaning in that last camp where they refused to renew the contract at the same level that it was at.
Yeah.
And so now they're trying to work on something less expensive for the network, because the network has invested a lot of money in Spike TV and in TNA Wrestling rather.
Right.
And it hasn't worked back in their favor. The live Monday nights. That
did not work, obviously.
Blockbuster of a failure.
Right.
Hogan's not there anymore. Bischoff's not there anymore. Sting's not there anymore. Jarrett's not there anymore.
A lot of the draws are gone.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is not there anymore.
Yep.
Kurt Angle is currently not there anymore.
Mm-hmm. And has stated that he probably won't renew his contract when it comes up. So.
Right. So I totally understand. I mean, they're going to have to do some major brand rebuilding to put themselves in a way that they can kind of make themselves worthwhile for Spike again.
Right. Troy says, this just in, TNA still exists, at least until October. And Mike says, maybe TNA made this known. This is the most I've ever heard about TNA on the rundown. Any publicity is good publicity.
That is a good point.
Hey,
that is a very good point.
We used to have a regular TNA Impact recap.
Who was the poor schmuck that had to do that?
Long ago, before Sean left the show.
No, Sean did that?
Yep.
That poor schmuck.
And it was hilarious.
Oh, Lord. I bet. Because it's Sean.
Yeah. So...
Wow. Well, there you go.
We'll see what happens.
There you go, folks. I believe that does it, right?
That does it for the rundown for this Tuesday, July 29th, 2014. 141 days since the Usos won the WWE Tag Team Championship. Lucky Pro Wrestling's Summer Sizzle in Clinton, Massachusetts on Saturday, August 9th. For more information, go to luckyprowrestling.com. Nope. luckyprowrestling.weebly.com. Weebly, Weebly.com.
Weebly.
Atlantic Pro Wrestling, Saturday, August 16th at the APW Arena at the Newbury Fire Hall in Newbury, Massachusetts. Go to atlanticprowrestling.com. Elkmania 2 is coming September 27th. Go to elkmania.com and see if they ever update that website. And Liberty States is off until October. LibertyStatesWrestling.com.
Scott County Wrestling presents their 11th year anniversary show coming up August 9th. That is not too far away. That's at the Walcott Coliseum in Walcott, Iowa. Doors open at 6:30. Bell time is at 7.
Follow us on Twitter to watch me live tweet Raw at Rundown Podcast. I also occasionally live tweet SmackDown like I did this past week because my DVR cannot be trusted. Send your feedback, send your Ryback theme song, send your catchphrase suggestions, send your fake sponsors, send your real sponsors, send your Doctor Who creator wrestler templates for Pertwee Through Hurt. Send questions for me to answer on YouTube, and your letters for Dear WWE to rundownwrestling@gmail.com, or leave us a voicemail at 206-202-6478. That's 206-20-ANGST. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling to make a donation of the monetary variety. Go to rundown.podomatic.com and click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the screen. Watch our archived episodes at youtube.com/rundownpodcast.
If you do, you see little Easter eggs like that thing right there. Right there.
And circle me on Google Plus at google.com/AdamRundownHost. No, /plus AdamRundownHost.
Don't forget that plus.
Also send us ideas for me for things that we could write about on the blog at rundownwrestling.blogspot.com.
Yeah, if you want to be a contributor.
Any articles right now?
Yeah, if you want to be a contributor, please send us your stuff and we
Sure.
can post it. Absolutely, we'll
Send
post
it
it.
to rundownwrestling@gmail.com, and I'll put it up there. There's no money in it for you, because there's
What?
no money in it for me.
Exposure.
That's true. tinyurl.com/Distant Horizons
Speaking of money,
to get
this is a
PDF
book
file.
of gold right here. PDF file. Chasing Distant Horizons, that's at tinyurl.com/Distant Horizons. $1.99 still on sale, or you can find it on the Amazon Kindle store. Just search for Chasing Distant Horizons and you will find it. The Kindle version isn't as nice. It's not as clean and as cool as the PDF version. That's just me, though.
And what's your other thing?
You can also follow at ShadowVeinCast or check out shadowvein.net. It's a podcast idea that I am currently writing and working on. It should hopefully, by the end of August, start casting and perhaps get the first podcast out sometime in September. It is a narrative storytelling podcast in a similar vein to something like Welcome to Night Vale, Sayer, the old War of the Worlds, radio dramas, that sort of thing. So there you go. At ShadowVeinCast on Twitter, shadowvein.net.
Search for us on iTunes, another Rundown Wrestling podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week, $0.00. If you cannot afford a donation of the monetary variety, go on to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review because that helps other people find us, something about
Please do.
paradigms and algorithms. You can also leave a text review. If you leave a text review, we will read it and your name on a future episode, like these fine people.
Billy says, "You're my favorite podcast. I love it." Tommy says, "Will you be my friend?"
Stop making shit up.
Ah, shit. See, that could be your name we read your funny little words on. Live.
In that exact voice.
I will use this voice when I read the reviews.
We are also available on Stitcher, on Stitcher.com, or the Stitcher app on your iOS or Android device. Go to search for the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. Completely free. You don't have to download anything. You just stream it directly from their servers. Do what I do. Go onto it and click it and start playing the episode. Then just turn the volume down on your iPhone and go do other shit. So,
that's one way to do it.
I'm trying to get our ranking up, but I think it's just me who's doing that at the point. So.
Ooh, I don't have a smartphone, so I don't know if I can do that.
You can do Stitcher.com though.
Oh, I can.
Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to Troy and to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Giving us comments on the side.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Come visit us.
Andrew.
You are very welcome.
And thanks to I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for our theme song. Next week. That's still incredibly loud.
You're welcome.
You're about to scream if she comes over here with this thing.
Yeah! I'm going to look out the window now. Da, 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 do, 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 do.
Stop it. Plus, next week, Brie Bella talks to us about using bribery and blackmail for fun and profit. Stop singing the song. There goes the snake again.
Oh my God!
And as always, remember, God, bet you can't have just one. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Change makes me scared. So do snakes.
Mike says he doesn't have iTunes and Stitcher doesn't let me write stuff.
You
should get iTunes then, Mike.
Yeah. Save project as. Yeah, Mike, get iTunes. Give us a review. Tell us how we doing. But only if you're telling us good stuff, obviously. But Rundown 162.
2.
This will be a short little episode. Less than an hour. Wow.
Right.
I don't think we've had less than an hour since Josh became a part of the show ever. Shut up, dog. Okay, I'm going to save that real quick, and I'm going to run and let my dog out because he won't shut the fuck up.
What's up, dog?
Please quit your barking.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm not looking at all at my computer, I'm putting my Cards Against Humanity back in their box. Just like that. Just like that. Over there. Hi. On that note, I guess there's not going to be a post show this week because, he's going to go fuck around with his dog. Whatever. I'm not going to go get supper because I'm starving. So, I was thinking about starting a weekly NXT ranking for your blog, or perhaps doing a get to know your NXT talent bio. That's a great idea. You should do that. Anybody, not that anybody's watching this at this point because nobody fucking watches YouTube videos anyway. But if you want to submit something to the blog, just send it to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Include your name and anything you want to plug.
What? Yeah.
And he's yelling at someone. And we'll put it on the blog with your credit to you and whatever you want the fuck people to go visit on your behalf. So, yeah. Rundownwrestling.blogspot.com.
I was thinking about starting a weekly NXT ranking for your blog. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
a
already
good
read
idea. Oh, well, I'm reading it out loud to myself.
You read that.
Sorry,
Shut the
buddy.
fuck up.
Hey, what? I like it, Troy. That'd be awesome.
That's what I said.
What is the website for our blog, by the way? You'll have to send me the information so I can get on there.
Rundownwrestling.blogspot.com.
Blogspot. Blogspot.
It's linked in through my Google, so I don't think anybody can log into it without logging into the Rundown's email address.
Gotcha.
So that's why people have to send me shit so I can post it.
Gotcha.
Get ya.
Stopping the broadcast now!